Hello everyone, we're back with more Doctor Who Flux, I guess I should say. It would not be our reactions to Doctor Who if we hadn't forgotten to record an intro, so here we are. Connor's just left, so it's just me. But yes, new series, very excited to dive into it, see what's all going on with it. We know it's kind of like a six-part kind of thing, whole serialized arc, which is very exciting, very different for at least a new series, I suppose. But yeah, I'm just happy that Doctor Who's back and we have some things to digest. And there certainly is a lot to digest with this episode for sure. So yes, very excited to be back on it, and let's get into it.
I am now far away, travelling towards what will in future be known as the final hours of planet Earth.
Oh.
It's very temperamental, Nitro 9.
Nitro 9? That was an Ace reference. Whee! Well,
Made a terrible mistake.
you appear to have played yourselves.
What a relief.
Of the two of us, my mind is clearly the more robust and rational.
Savage.
Lies ahead. Go in the world, it could be the greatest.
Bish, 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 bish.
Bish bash bosh.
Don't wake me, you're not a guide, stop pretending to
Oh
be.
dear.
I am official.
The last tour guide in Doctor Who was Ruth.
Oh no, please. My prediction is true.
Don't keep me waiting, you, for late Dan Lewis.
Not tonight.
Come on.
Someone's not making the drinks.
Oh dear. Oh.
No.
Incarceration systems
Ugh.
remain active. You're as confined as you always have been.
Just
And always will be.
fool.
Service to division.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh dear.
Oh. Well, that's awful.
Electro?
I was thinking that. Also Mesogog from Power Rangers.
Renewed at last.
Me having water after a night. Oh, no!
No.
Treat, Doctor.
Oh.
Oh, that's,
Jesus.
that's his house.
He's so cute.
Die.
Oh, God.
Sacred legacy of my forebears.
Don't look anything like forebears.
Oh,
Oh no, oh god.
John, no.
I'm guessing single bloke.
Gosh, I think it's a Liverpool fan.
No. Oh, no.
That can't be good.
Oh, damn, that's a lot. I mean, I'm no expert, but that's a lot. Meanwhile,
What have you done with the chilies? Have you tried the fridge? Why would
It does look quite chilly there.
Well, sometimes you put them in the fridge. I do not.
Oh, I'm so confused. Don't understand what's going
a
on.
lot has happened in a lot of places.
Oh.
Look at your little brain trying to work it all out.
Me.
Embarrassing.
Mm.
Have we met? Not yet, but we will.
Oh no.
Pass, I think, if it's true. I'm Claire. If what's true.
I'm a recurring character.
That can't be good.
The door's moved.
Oh.
Yeah. Quick MOT check on my mind. Had a little glitch earlier. What sort of glitch? You didn't mention it. You know what, Yaz? I don't mention everything.
Really?
Nothing's as it should be, Yaz. Too much out of the ordinary tonight.
I agree.
No boy.
Please.
Oh no.
Hello there. Oh, dear. Oh,
Christ.
Well, that's just gone bad.
Well, she's done better than what I would have done.
I'd have given it a high five by now. Just take me.
Knock it over, please.
There's another one in there. Surprise!
Oh, my
Ah.
God. Oh dear.
Why would you blink when you're inside?
I conclude this report with my usual sign-off request that you all go to hell. What in the name of the
What the flux?
Oh dear.
Oh no.
That's not good. God, that'd be horrific. Way
Yeah.
to get to that.
Oh!
Oh, bye. Oh.
My sister,
Oh.
Oh!
how I have missed you.
I'll confront Calvinista. Meet back up there. Confront him. Do you not remember how that ended up last time? Yeah, we got away.
Well.
He got tired of our explosions and then back sharpish. Right, synchronise watches. Forget that, I'm not wearing a watch. See soon. I've got a bone to pick for you.
Oh, God.
Oh, Christ.
I have to leave to get rid of you.
You're gonna tell me everything you know about the division.
Oh boy.
Dan Lewis, right?
Nice.
But the bars won't zap me.
Not if I've done it properly, which
Yeah. Oh no.
There can be only one companion.
you're not abducting Dan men.
I'm saving him, you idiot. Right? Every loophole has a designated human. He's mine. Right? We have to save them before it's too late.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Stun cube on it.
The flux.
What's the
Ooh wee!
Ripping through the structure of this universe.
Oh.
We're protecting them. Yeah, well, we don't want your protection.
We were supposed to be sneaking in. The flux. Calvinista seems to think it will overwhelm most of the universe.
It's overwhelming me.
We are. I don't know about this. But who else does?
I think Bone Red-Faced Man knows, and the Sontarans.
We must be ready to take advantage. My old friend, I find myself excited.
Yeah.
How can we breathe?
Protective air bubble.
Oh god, we can't.
Take your word for it.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Not generic alien
Oh.
race number 1.
After so long apart, we get to do it once more.
I don't know you.
Yet I know you.
Oh dear.
Diane. Don't go into the light, Diane.
It's the last thing you want to do. Bye.
Well, I guess you live here now.
I'm sending you a formation for the ships.
Oh, it's pretty on Earth.
To them instantly.
Smart.
Surprise!
Oh dear.
They can be the universe. I always wondered what it would feel like.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
Christ.
I'm gonna need to watch it again.
Yes. Yes.
I had a very good time. I just don't know what's going on.
Again, I think this is the thing, is that they heavily said, and they've marketed it heavily as it's a big story, you know, it's not a different thing each week.
Yeah, it's a 6-parter basically.
So I think if people come off of this and go, oh, I don't get what's going on, whoa, now I think you're an idiot and you don't understand. You don't understand what
No one
concept this
understands.
series No. If by the end of the series you're still confused and things haven't been resolved, yes, fair enough, you can
Yeah.
be annoyed. But this is obviously similar to the Marvel TV shows where there's a story going out. It's very WandaVision-esque where you're just plunged into it and you're like,
It's
what the hell's
basically
going
what
on?
TV is now. It's
Yeah,
what they do.
yeah, which is fair enough. It's what most long-running dramas, or at least popular TV in the past 10 years has been, like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones and things
This is
like
the
that.
most classic Who Doctor Who's gone.
Yes, yes. But I loved it, I think.
I really enjoyed it, yeah.
I mean, we'll simmer on it and we'll rewatch it and we'll discuss later on, but...
Yeah.
I'm
And we're certainly going to forget things that are in it. Like, the guy with
the Victorian man.
Yeah, the guy with the tunnels. I know
Yeah.
he's a real guy, and
Yeah.
that's going to tie into it somehow. I do like the guessing game of like what's going to fit in where,
Yes.
like when are we going to
What's
revisit?
happening?
Because I think we've seen everyone who's going to be in this series.
The first one, yeah. And now it's just putting them
Now
into
it's like
place.
how's it all going to fit into place? Because we know it's going to be
Yeah.
like Sontarans are heavily focused next
They're going
week.
to war somewhere. I assume they must be in the past.
I think it's the
Because it's the
Crimean
Crimean
War,
War, isn't it? Yeah. So they must be...
But exactly like why they need to do that, I don't know. What's that got to do with the flux? How do they get out of that whole mess? Maybe the time energy did do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's having visions of the Skull People, and
Yes.
the Skull People are killing people, but one
so-
of them was his sister.
So my thought with them is that they're Time Lords, because he does mention the Division, doesn't he, during like when he breaks free.
Yeah.
And I think those two that check on him are from the Division or something.
Yeah.
So he must be something to do with the Time Lords. Although I know a lot of theories suggested he was the Master, but I feel that they did that reveal
feel
last
like,
season.
yeah,
so.
they'll be from the dimension where the Doctor came from. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
It
Maybe
must
him
be.
breaking out like caused a flux or something.
Yeah, because I think him and the Flux are related. And-
They're brothers.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. And then it's just, and it's tricky to analyze it because we don't have all
It's
the answers.
pure
We don't know
speculation
what's
at this
going
point.
on. And Dan's obviously not a Time Lord because they established that it's just this species, which I quite liked.
I
liked.
really like that
I
idea
that.
of like the dog man's best friend race. Who, like,
Yeah, who
having
are
a
actually
science team.
saving.
I think that's
Earth.
quite cool. Yeah, I like that.
It'd be interesting to see if their protective ships do protect the Earth. I'm going to assume they will, just because it's just an easy way to say Earth is fine and we can set all the stories on Earth and not have to worry about going elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that maybe the time vortex thing going into the Flux causes them to be thrown back in time, which is why they're at the Crimea War, maybe. Again, we also had some Weeping Angels in this.
We did.
Can't forget. So what's up with them? Why did they send that lady back?
Yeah. Why are they so
Claire?
obsessed with her?
Who is Claire? Where did she come from? Is she a Time Lord? Is she a former companion? Is she a future companion?
Yeah.
Is she with the unit? Is she with somebody else?
So I'm sure they're just like they must meet her in a future episode. Then she gets sent back.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she didn't. She's like, oh, I guess you're Yaz. So I guess she's only going to meet the Doctor whenever.
Maybe.
But she's heard of Yaz.
Unless Yaz dies like next week. Maybe. You never know. Who knows?
I don't know anything.
But I do like the fact that it's all, I think it's been a while since we've had that kind of, oh, you don't know me yet, I'm in your future type character type intervention. We haven't had that in a while, I don't think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see it all unravel and resolve itself. And I think because is it 6 episodes, isn't it?
6, yeah.
So I think I didn't feel like there was time in this one where it was like, there was no dead space, I don't think, in this episode.
No.
Might have to go back and watch it, and then when we finally get the full 6 episodes, that we might say, oh yeah, that wasn't necessary in this.
Yeah.
Because the Victorian people, we don't know what's going on there, but it could be a case of, oh, it's good that they put this in, or they didn't really need that until episode 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all just very intriguing.
Vinder's doing his own little thing.
He's in an
He
escape pod
escaped,
somewhere.
So I guess he's fine.
Yeah.
And like, what's his deal? How is he gonna bump into people? I don't know.
Just don't know what's going on.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Is that I enjoyed it, and I like the mystery of everything
I
going
think
on.
there's going to be more to talk about as the weeks go on, because it's
Yeah.
just this was all basically set up, and like this is what's happening. This is everyone we're going to be interacting with.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And it did seem there were a couple of like nods to other things. Obviously, with the long way home, I'm going the long way home is obviously a reference to, I guess, Matt Smith's era more than anything. And then it was Outpost Rose, which I guess is going to be another reference.
Nitro 9 got a reference.
You already mentioned that, yeah. So I think there's a couple of, it is playing into the history of Doctor Who a little bit, I think, just from this one episode.
And I do like that they're directly addressing the Timeless Child and stuff. 'Cause
Yes.
she's seeking that dog man out because
he's
an
apparently
agent
part
of the division,
which is still going, maybe.
So that's very much obviously going to be a focus, I think. And
Yes, which I'm happy they're doing.
the fact that she doesn't remember the Skull People, but they have all this huge long history of battles and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's just going to be a life she doesn't remember.
And I think that's good. I think that's the way Doctor Who probably should go, is saying, hey, look, this has been a thing, and now it's this grand scale.
Yeah,
you've
adds
got
the
so
mystery
much
back into
space.
it.
Yeah, you've got so much space to do more adventures and add more history
Do
and add more
anything,
depth. Which is one of the reasons why I quite like the whole idea of the Timeless Child.
Yeah.
And having all this. So it'll be interesting to see where they fit in, whether they're from a different dimension, whether they're a Time Lord, whether they're Rassilon or Omega, maybe.
That'd be fun.
Because it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be a Time Lord that everyone sort of knows and is like famous, or it's going to be a brand new villain. And I think people will be disappointed either way. But the one that the audience will probably favour, or at least the fandom will favour, is probably the more famous Time Lord. But I don't think that'll be the Master because that's already been a reveal.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it. I think Chibnall has mentioned as well. Oh, there's some other guest stars that we haven't mentioned yet, so there are going to be more people in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to have to look at who plays the Skull guy.
Yeah,
because like, his voice sounded very Paul Bettany-esque, I thought, but obviously
I did
it's
feel
not Paul Bettany.
That was one scene I was like, I recognise your voice. And I feel like maybe I've seen the actor before. Maybe he's been Doctor Who before. Or something.
I mean, probably you can if you can come back in Doctor Who if you wear makeup.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, it's going to take, I think, some digesting this episode, and probably all the episodes going forwards, and it's going to have to be analysed in the context of everything that comes up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, one of my friends has said he's waiting until it's all aired and then he's just going to binge it, and I think that might actually be an interesting way of going about it.
That will probably be the best way to go about it, but I wouldn't want to do it because you'd get spoiled like straight away.
Yeah, you'd have to be quite careful.
So I wouldn't risk it, and I think
at this point I don't know how much there is to spoil. So
I
it's
guess
not too bad until the last few, really.
Probably not, but
we'll see. I think it's going to be very satisfying to see it all come together.
Yeah, and I think this is part of if this was just on Netflix, it probably would have been released all at once rather than weekly. But because it's the BBC's flagship show and they need something for their Sunday night drama, it has to be released weekly. I know. I can't remember what Twitter account it was, but someone was like streaming on iPlayer. They didn't even mention it was on the channel.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that if they had their way, it might be a bulk drop maybe, as has been. But even now, you say that all the Marvel shows are going weekly. Some Netflix shows come out weekly.
They just stay in the public consciousness for a lot longer.
That's the main thing, really, is because it's sort of the water cooler moments, isn't it? Where in theory you would talk about them at work tomorrow.
So if you dropped it all at once, you just couldn't have that online speculation stuff, and I think that's probably the better way of going about it.
Yes, and it will definitely be interesting to watch it all the way through, all 6 hours, I guess, of it. 7 hours or whatever it is.
It will be interesting to see.
Because this episode was only about 45 minutes long, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think this is like going to be the shortest one. So I think it's an hour next week. I think the time slot was for an hour. So
it will be interesting to see where we go from here, how they end up in the Crimean War.
Yeah. What did we think of Dan?
I really liked Dan. In his first scene, I was like, oh, how good of an actor is John Bishop? He's a comedian, obviously. So he's a comedian actor. So it's never going to be, top notch.
I still don't think I've gotten past the fact that it's John Bishop yet.
No, it's just
I'm
John
still just
Bishop.
like, you're John Bishop, just doing a gig.
I did think there was a nice...
but I did enjoy him.
There were nice comedy moments, especially with this is to do with my forebears. And he's like, you're forebear, but you don't like forebears.
Yeah.
I was like, there are some good humour moments for him in there. And I'm sure we'll get more serious moments with him moving forward. But he's seemingly just slotted in as if he's always been there, which I quite like.
Yeah, he does seem to kind of bounce off.
And I also like that Yaz she has more...
She's very proactive.
Independence.
It helps
more
that there's not as many people.
Yes. It did feel like she had the most screen time in this episode than she ever has in any other episode.
When they announced John Bishop and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's...
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be the Doctor and Yaz. But this episode still quite, for the most part, felt like the Doctor and Yaz.
And it always will be, because it'll always be... If the Doctor goes off and it's just Dan and Yaz, it'll still be Yaz being in control. It'll never be Dan being in control.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to get a lot more play throughout the series, and it's good that she's pressing the Doctor. Although I feel I'm a little bit tired of the Doctor being like... Because it seems like every episode is like, oh, you're not telling me something. Oh, I don't need to tell you anything. It seems like that's every episode.
Yeah, that needs to be resolved.
There needs to be a... And I thought that was going to be the situation, because they had that moment in the Timeless Children, whichever episode it's called, where she was like, oh, this is happening, and I thought that was it, that's fine. So but then now they're like, oh, I've had this other thing. It's like, oh, just talk to your companion, woman.
Yeah.
But
I do also wish it was a bit more Halloween-y.
Yeah. I mean,
it could have been set any time.
There was just it's Halloween.
That's it. There's some pumpkins outside Dan's house.
It's very much like Russell T Davies' Christmas, where it's like, it's Christmas episode. Here's the episode. Just because it's out on Halloween, just because it's out on Christmas, doesn't mean it needs to be whatever. But the marketing for this and the episode title does suggest more Halloween-y.
But it's what it is.
Maybe it would have been more Halloween-y if there wasn't the pandemic that they had to deal with, and it could have been its own... I imagine this might have just been a Weeping Angel Halloween episode if it wasn't for the restrictions that they had to
Yeah, 'cause
to do.
I think Chibnall only had the idea for like the 6-part Flux story because the pandemic
Because they had to.
forced him to do
Well,
it.
I think he had the idea of the story, but it was condensing it into the 6 parts, which I don't
Yeah,
think
it wasn't
would have been
originally
an
gonna
arc
be-
rather than the.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been like part
No.
1, part 2.
So I
part
imagine,
3.
and we'll probably get more play with the Weeping Angels. So I'd imagine.
I'm pretty sure there'll
they're
be
just
like a
gonna
Weeping
cut
Angel
into-
episode. I think.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people thought this was going to be it.
and I
but
think
they
that will explain
just sort of
that woman.
appeared.
And
Yeah,
everything.
because she was seemingly targeted, I guess.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that plays in. I always thought that the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean was in the Weeping Angel episode. I think he might be because isn't he opening the doors now? We're like in his courtyard.
yeah.
But
And
that could just be the trailer.
It's
showing
also
things.
the woman who got sucked into the house.
Yes, I want to know why they targeted her specifically,
Mm.
because that could also lend itself to Dan not being actually human, which still might be a thing, although they've kind of.
Yeah,
Simmered that
I don't
down
think
with
so,
the-
but you never know.
But it is a strange target to go for, unless they know that. Because, why would you pick Dan's date rather than Yaz's family to
Yeah.
hold hostage?
I don't know.
Because they've only just met Dan. So, as harsh as it is, in theory, the Doctor's going to care more about Yaz and her family than Dan and his date.
Mm.
But so that makes me think there's more there.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. But guess we'll find out in
Yes.
5 weeks. I
yeah,
imagine.
or next week, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, we've got like answers about Dogman, so that's nice.
Yeah.
We
He's-
kind of know his whole deal, so it's not like we didn't get anything. It was all
No,
just
and I
all-
like that he's not actually a bad guy. He's just a bit of a
Yeah.
prick.
Yeah.
He's just a bit rough. So I think he'll come back, and he's obviously a good guy.
Yeah.
But and we'll still wait to find out what Binder is. I assume he's a good guy. He's portrayed in the episode to be a nice
Yeah,
guy.
when they announced him, they said an ally for the Doctor in the
Yeah.
upcoming series. So.
But I don't know if they ever meet,
No.
because he wasn't at the Comic-Con thing when they did that, and in any
No.
of the footage and then pictures, they're not in the same thing.
No.
So maybe they never meet
That'd be
again
interesting.
because of COVID. In real life, because of COVID restrictions, I imagine maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that. But
I felt like they did do a good job in regards to that, I feel, in this one.
if
So
they didn't
obviously,
say
like-
anything and they just said, "Yeah, we always planned this," you couldn't tell.
Yeah,
that
I
they
wouldn't have
changed
been
it.
like, oh,
It doesn't
look
look
at
like
how
they've-
empty that street is, how empty the shit's
No.
are. I feel like they did it quite well.
Yeah,
I'd
and
say.
it doesn't look like they've skimped on the budget anywhere.
No.
I wouldn't say.
Perhaps
Even
they
like
have less episodes, I guess.
even like the first bit, everyone was concerned when they were going to be hung upside down. They're like, "Oh, this looks like it's the worst CGI," and it wasn't terrible, but they weren't there for very long.
No, I quite like
That'll
that
be
bit.
it.
Yeah.
But everything with the TARDIS going funny, and the
Oh, yeah, it's
Flux
like the
coming
goo
out,
and all of that.
it all
like,
looks
what's all
great.
that about?
and that's a weird. And the doors are inside.
Yeah, the
going
TARDIS
weird
is
places.
going wrong. Probably because they're
So-
going to destroy the set for 14th Doctor, probably. But
Yeah. So it'd be
I don't
interesting
know.
to see what happens and where it's going to go, and if the Flux is just this 6 episodes, or if it's going to carry into Jodie's 3 next year,
yeah,
and how that's going to impact, and if Yaz is going to die, if Graham and Ryan are coming back this year, or is it next year?
pretty sure it's next year. Well,
'Cause
I don't even think.
I
Ryan's
don't know
going
if one
back.
of the 3. I don't know if one of the 3 specials is Christmas or probably New Year's Day, wouldn't it?
No, I think the first one will be New Year's Day.
Oh God,
I
There's
don't
just-
know.
There's just so much.
It's all speculation.
It'll be
but,
very interesting to see the
I'm
discourse.
fully on board to find out what's
Yes.
going on here because I
As
really
per
enjoyed it.
usual.
Yeah, it's just good to have Doctor Who back.
I know.
It's been so
It
long
has
since
been
New Year's Day.
It's been
So much has
it's-
gone on, and honestly, the fact that we've gotten anything at all this year is quite incredible, really.
Yeah.
With everything going on, the fact they've still made 9 episodes, but a 6-episode arc for a TV show. I would have easily not blamed them for not doing it. So
Sorry, can't do it. But if
No.
we can make Call the Midwife for Christmas in 2020, we can do Doctor Who.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Obviously, a lot of it is set up, but I'm excited for more. I'm excited for Sontarans in the next one. I think they looked quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely hear the hologram one was Dan Starkey.
Yes, I did think that. I
He
did
has the
think
same
was.
Sontaran voice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's why I was like, is that Strax? No, it's not. It's just not the Sontaran.
yeah, I'm intrigued to see what their whole deal is going to be and like why they need to be the big urgent threat of the next one and the Crimean War, how that plays into it. How do they get out of all these situations? Who else are we going to see everyone all over again in the next one? Or is it just going to be some
regular
Sontarans?
check-ins?
I just don't know, but I'm excited to find out regardless. But yeah, I think that's a very strong start for me anyway. I'm sure we'll find out if people didn't like it. God, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be everything for now, I think. We'll be on Connor's channel in a few days' time, unpacking the episode properly.
Trying to, yes.
Yeah, we'll try and get a bit more in depth with it. This is just kind of our gut reactions, which will be on my channel. So I'll be sure to link that. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything for now. So until next week, thanks for watching. Good day.
Bye.